How to bring your Chinese spouse to Canada. Bringing your Chinese spouse to Canada is a complex process, especially if you're not already married in China and you and your spouse wish to do so. Apart from completing all the marriage ceremony in China, as a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, you will need to sponsor your Chinese spouse under the Family Class Sponsorship Program to bring him or her to Canada as a permanent resident. To marry in China, you must present a statutory declaration or an affidavit of single status, a Canadian passport, a birth certificate, divorce or death certificates from a previous marriage, if any, and the applicable fee to the Chinese authority at the Civil Affairs Bureau in the province your spouse is registered. All documents must be translated into Chinese and notarized. Additionally, your spouse must also provide a birth certificate, an affidavit of single status, and the household registration book called hukou. Together, you need to have 3 photos taken at the Civil Affairs Bureau. It's important to note that certain Chinese local offices may require additional information, and it's therefore recommended to check the specific requirements and schedule an appointment at least 3 weeks in advance. Only persons from a different gender can marry in China, so if you are in a same-sex relationship, you will need to marry in Canada or another country where same-sex marriage is legal. The man must be at least 22, while the woman must be at least 20 to be able to get married. To sponsor your spouse under the family class, you must fulfill the general sponsorship requirements and the country-specific requirements. The general sponsorship requirements depend on several factors, such as whether or not you and your partner have any dependent children, whether or not your partner intends to work in Canada during the application process, and upon additional criteria related to your family circumstances. You must provide originals as well as certified copies of all documents from the basic requirements. Documents that are not in English or French must be translated and certified. Being a sponsor assumes that you will provide financial support for the basic needs of your sponsored spouse. The country-specific requirements for Chinese nationals include the documents that the Chinese spouse must fill out and send to the sponsor to complete the sponsorship process. The Chinese national should submit all country-specific documents that applies to his or her situation. Generic application form for Canada. Additional dependents declaration, if the sponsored partner has more than 5 family members. Schedule A background declaration for each family member over 18. Additional family information for the sponsored partner and the family members. Spouse-partner questionnaire. Sponsor questionnaire must be filled out by the sponsor. Use of a representative if applicable. Declaration from non-accompanying parent-guardian for minors immigrating to Canada. Identity and civil status documents such as birth, adoption, marriage, divorce or death certificates. Absolute nisi decree for Hong Kong residents. Custody order for the children. Photocopies of all pages of the household register, hukou, and a photocopy of the biodata page of the passport with a validity of at least 18 months. Documents for children's status and education. Notarized statutory declaration for non-accompanying family members. Proof of your relationship to the sponsor, such as wedding or engagement photos. Letters, emails, chat records, telephone bills, as well as proof of your sponsor's visits, such as airline tickets and boarding passes, as well as a complete photocopy of all pages of your sponsor's passport and proof of financial support from your sponsor. Translated and certified police certificates and clearances. Proof of medical examination. 2 photos for each member of your family taken within the last 6 months. Address in Chinese characters and contact numbers. When you collect all of the documents for both partners, fill out, sign, and validate all forms, as well as pay the applicable fees. You need to send the application package to Case Processing Center, Mississauga, Robert Speck Parkway, Suite 300, Mississauga, Ontario, L4Z 1H8.